All right, so I'm going to try and give a lesson on my version of Roomful of Mirrors. The first time I heard this, it was off a CD that I had gotten from a box set when I was a kid. It was like this purple velvet box, and there were like 4 discs in it, 4 CDs. And I can't even remember exactly which CD this particular rendition is on, but I think it's Hendrix and Richard Manuel, and they're just kind of fiddling around a little bit, and it's really this slow, cool version of Roomful of Mirrors. So I just kind of took that version, ran with it a little bit, tried to just stretch it out to make it a full song, because the actual recording itself, if I remember correctly, is a little over a minute long. I haven't listened to it in a really long time. But I am one of those guitarists that it's kind of difficult for me to start right in the middle of a phrase or start right in the middle of a song and play the same thing that I may be trying to teach you, so bear with me. I'm not necessarily the world's greatest teacher, but I'm going to do my best because it's an awesome song. Hendrix was a great guitarist, and whatever I can do to pass that on so that you guys can play it is cool by me. Alright, so anyways, I am tuned 1.5 steps down. That is 1 full step plus a half step. So therefore, instead of my top E being an E, it is a C sharp. Alright, and likewise with the rest of the strings, right? So, like, here's my E chord. A couple reasons why I'm tuned down this low. Number one, it makes it a lot easier to sing with it, and number two, it makes it a heck of a lot easier to play on an acoustic. So, yeah, it's just a lot less tension on the strings. Plus, I kind of like how it sounds a little bit better. It sounds a little bassier. But again, please do bear with me while I try to teach you this song. I'm going to primarily just try to teach the overall shape and form of the song and kind of leave it up to you to watch my fingers as far as any of the little flourishes or licks or whatever it may be, but I encourage you to just kind of add your own sort of style and flair in, but at least you'll have the overall structure of the song. So first of all, we are going to hammer on to the G string on the 4th fret, and we're going to play the B and E open down below it. So it starts out like this. Alright, and directly after that we will hammer on to the D string 4th fret and kind of walk down the pentatonic scale a little bit. So I'm going to play it for you. And we're going to end up on the octave of F sharp, right? Playing the top E with your thumb on the 2nd fret, and then just kind of hammering on the D string from the 2nd to the 4th fret, okay? To start again. And that's a little just hammering on to the A string 3rd fret there and kind of walking it down to the 2nd and then open. And then hammering on to the top E 5th fret. And then we're going to play the top E string on the 5th fret, and we're going to be playing an A chord with our index finger, of course, muting the bottom E string, okay? So hitting on the top E, and then coming back and landing on that F sharp on the top E, and that's kind of just sliding up on the top E to the 9th fret, and that's just, and then we're going to make an E7 shape. Alright, so our index finger on the A string 7th fret, middle finger on the A string, 7th fret, index finger on the G string, 6th fret, and we're going to walk that down half a step 4 times, right? And if you notice, I'm playing all the other strings open. We're sliding back down to the G string, 2nd fret there, right? So chorus or verse starts out, and we're doing F sharp, E, F sharp, E, B, doing that part again. And that I'm just kind of hammering on here and there. And then, like, when I do my solo, I go up here to like this F sharp 9, adding my pinky back to the E. Because see, what's cool, if you don't already know, if you're familiar with the pentatonic scale, which is the very first scale that I ever learned, you know, if you play that scale out of the relative minor, in other words, in this particular case, in that E chord, we can go up here. The relative minor is C sharp minor. If you don't know what I'm talking about, look it up. But you can basically play the pentatonic scale in C sharp, okay? But it's going to go along perfectly with E major, okay? So just a little useful tip there. So this little lick right here, I still mess up sometimes, but it's I've got my index finger on the B string 5th fret, my middle finger on the D string 6th fret, but I kind of so I take that, walk it down to where I've got my both strings kind of on top of each other on the 4th fret, the D and B string, and then walk it to the 2nd fret. And then kind of make a, and then make kind of a B7 shape, sort of, with your 3 fingers. That's the A string 2nd fret, D string 1st fret, G string 2nd fret. But you can walk it down like, and then walk the G string down to the 1st fret. D string 2nd fret, A string 4th fret, top E 5th fret, and then land on the F sharp. So that at speed is kind of like this. Well, I guess I added back in the D string 2nd fret there. Wasn't enough notes that I was explaining. Like I said, I'm not the world's greatest teacher, but I hope this is beneficial to some of you. But kind of, yeah. Just something like that. And then just kind of sliding up here, you know. Whatever. And then we're doing that hammering on thing again. But hopefully that's helpful. Hopefully that allows you to essentially learn the song. If you do have any questions, because like I mentioned, I'm sure I'm not the world's greatest teacher, but if you have some questions, maybe a little bit more insight on a few of the things going on there, feel free to comment below. And appreciate your time and interest in my version of this song. It's really flattering. I greatly do appreciate that. Thank you.